I really hated when Johnny Depp says eatable in the movie, what was that? Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory or whatever? Charlie? I don't know, they renamed it. It really bothers me because the word is edible. And he's a good actor. He should know. He should say edible. I mean, maybe it's within character.
Do you realize that people write the lines for them? They don't just come up with them.
Right, but I mean...
So it's not his fault to shut up because he's sexy.
That is not justification.
Yes, it is.
For...
Yes, it is. Yes.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, all of what y'all just said is pretty, irrelevant to the actual question. In the movie, he says that everything in that room is eatable. Except for...
People.
Because that's cannibalism.
Well, actually, he says that it is.
But...
They are eatable, but
that's
it's
cannibalism.
found upon.
But what about the Oompa Loompas?
They're not. I don't believe.
Aren't they people, though?
They're orange. They're called Oompa Loompas. They're not human.
Is it still frowned upon?
But I thought they were like a tribe, because he's like...
Yeah. But it's still not cannibalism because they're not human. Because, like, if, say, like, a dog ate another dog, that's somewhat like cannibalism because it's their own thing.
Except it's not frowned upon for some reason.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
Why isn't it?
It's like a human eating an Oompa Loompa. An Oompa Loompa really isn't a human.
So do they not taste like human? I mean, I wouldn't know what they taste like, of course,
what
but...
what do they taste like? Do they taste like carrots? I don't know. They're orange.
Do they taste like candy? They are in a candy factory.
Maybe.
They're chocolate, like the
Maybe they're made of chocolate. Maybe he's like some weird scientist person secretly.
Maybe. Quick tip about cannibalism. If you ever do become a cannibal, the hands are the tenderest part of the human body.
Like carrot, right? You could bite it off like a carrot, but your mind doesn't let you.
What?
Like, you've never heard of that?
No.
Your fingers are like the consistency of a carrot. You could bite it off like that, but your mind doesn't let you.
And that's why there's so many nerve endings in the fingers. That way you don't end up, chopping them all off, biting them off, things like that. Because fingers have...
I want to try this.
Fingers have loads of nerve endings in them. That's why touch is one of the most important senses that a body has. That's why certain interactions of things are so incredibly intriguing to people.
I want to meet a person who's somewhat insane to do the finger trick to see if it's real. I know that sounds weird, or maybe you could
that sounds really messed up.
Or maybe no. You could go to like a lab place and they get like, this sounds weird, but like a dead person, and they'd have their hand and they can make a machine that would do like a person in their jaw, like how you could actually bite. And then they put their finger there and see if it actually was like a carrot or if it's just...
So do you just pick a random person for a morgue, or is it somebody that donates their body to science?
Yeah, they could donate their body to science.
As soon as you mentioned insane person, I immediately thought of the Joker.
Right.
And I was like, I could see the Joker somehow... No, that's more like Jigsaw, torturing people to bite their fingers off. Yeah. That's Jigsaw, not Joker.
You could definitely get like somebody who was like blindfolded and like feed it to them so they don't know it's a finger.
Oh.
And they just take a bite of this carrot and they just...
Not carrot.
I know it's going to taste weird, but just...
Best book turned into a movie.
I like the Hunger Games.
I never read it, never watched it.
It wasn't... One thing annoyed me the most that they did on purpose was her little sister, can't remember her name.
Prim?
Yeah,
Primrose Everdeen.
She was... in the movie, it showed her, like, Katniss got the little thing from the hob and gave it to her little sister on the day. And that's not what happened, because in the book, she got it from the mayor's daughter, and that was how she got it. And in the movie, they showed it, like, she shouldn't have had the little thing, like it was a secret, but in the book, it was actually that you could bring one thing from your home.
And so she wore it.
And that's what bothered me the most, because they did it on purpose.
That's terrible.
I didn't like that.
When movies do that, they have ruined an extremely important part of the story. I think they did well with Lord of the Rings.
I didn't read any of the Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit, but the movies were so well done, and from other people that I've heard, they left out some detail, but they followed them to a really good degree, and they're well accepted by the book-loving community as well as the movie-loving community.
Which is what should happen with every book. But no, they gotta go in funding cuts and crap. Which, I mean, it's not their fault, but still. My button fell off. No, but seriously, that voice, immediately, Tom Hanks, we're back to Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump, which...
She threw her keys at.
Was Forrest Gump a book ever? Or was it just a movie?
I honestly don't know.
That would be a very particular book
Read.
if it was a book.
It would be a
You're a
good
big
book.
red.
I mean, it's a very. I thought the movie
Bears.
was fantastic because it looked at it incorporated history and actually taught a lot of good things about history in an obscure way.
I love the movie.
It was fantastic. I love it.
I liked the moral message behind it. You know, little things here and there about, you know, the chick he fell in love with being a druggie who kind of sold herself a little bit. But he still loved her anyway. I mean, yeah, he is retarded, which I'm not sure if that's trying to send the message of only a retard could fall in love with this kind of woman. Or...
I may not be very smart, but I'm not stupid.
Right. I'm sure it's not supposed to send that message at all, but rather, you know...
Like a
Show
botched
what-
line.
A person can do.
Right, like, love isn't something that you need to know anything for, but, you know, it's one of those things, anybody can do it, like cavemen, obviously.
Driven by natural instinct, man will find woman.
Stormy has this thing hanging in her room. It's actually kind of cool. It's like a wooden skeleton of a, I don't know, I guess a miniature pterodactyl.
Yes.
It's like a petrified Petrie. You remember from Land Before Time?
Oh my
That's
god.
really
Petra
sick.
Petrie.
That is really sick.
That makes me
Petrified
sad.
Petrie is just demented.
But it like rhymes in a way, you know?
Petra Petrie.
So
Come
it
on.
makes it okay.
You
Sounds
are a
sciencey.
sick person. I watched that as a kid.
I have to agree with
I am
Raymond.
scarred
I'm
now.
sorry.
You
I-
would.
Ducky annoyed me. At times I thought she was cute, and then I was like, you know, no, you're just kind of
No.
Yeah, all the time. That's all she said.
I got
Which,
to
I
where
mean,
I said that for a few years.
Was a
Really?
Triceratops.
What?
Sarah.
That's my favorite
That was
duck.
Sarah.
That was her name. Was
Which
Sarah.
one was
The
Ducky?
Ducky was a little one. She was like
Yeah.
this tall, and she had like
Uh-huh.
a duckish looking mouth,
Yeah.
and the little tail.
What
2
kind of
feet.
dinosaur
She had
was
little
she?
bitty arms.
I have no idea, dude.
I don't know.
I think I kind of remember. It's been so
I can
long
kinda
since I've seen
sketch
that
it for
movie.
you if you wanted me
I
to.
watched it like not very long ago because of Macy's little sister. She has a 3-year-old sister, so I was sitting with her and she was watching it.
That's cool. I mean, it's a timeless movie,
Oh,
if you will.
very
Yeah,
no.
if you will. The Land Before Time, the timeless movie.
But what?
There's
what-
like a crap load of them now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't there like 14 or something like
I
that?
don't know.
think
There's
so,
like
actually.
so many. Oh my gosh.
In fact, I probably still have them on VHS somewhere.
I like the more of original. I don't know if it was the original, but the one where I don't remember what the main one was called, but his or her, I can't remember. I don't know. Grandpa was dying, and so they had to go get that magical leaf. Yeah,
Yeah.
That-
You
I
don't
like-
actually know.
That was the one we were
Was-
watching.
yes.
yeah, I like that one.
I think
but-
that one's the most popular. I remember that one the most vividly because it was
Yeah.
like a 5-point leaf, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magical
We're not-
5-point lead.
We're not gonna go there.
Yeah,
But wasn't it like
This
a
is a
star
kid's
leaf
show.
or something like
Yeah.
But
that?
it
Or-
like sparkled.
It had a cool name.
James Franco. He plays like a billion different kinds of roles, and he plays them all really well. He's one of my favorite actors. Because he's an actor, you know? He doesn't play a type.
He's like
Every type. And he's a lit major.
he's the good what's his name? What's his name? The guy that plays every single role. It's handed to him.
Oh,
He has a reputation for being bad.
oh crap, what's his name? He's got Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage. He's like the good Nicolas Cage.
Yes. The thing
No,
I don't
but-
like about Nicolas Cage is he always has the same everything. His roles change, but he is always the same.
Yeah.
And there was a movie, Stolen, and I saw Nick Cage's stereotypical face that you see every time you see Nick Cage, and I'm like, this looks like a really bad remake of Taken. You should just recast Liam Neeson in it. Anything that sounds like Taken, cast Liam Neeson. He's epic.
I know. I did read an article about James Franco once in a magazine. It was fantastic, and I liked the way that he kind of got started into his filming career.
I'm interested.
Because it was, I don't remember the entire article word for word, or even like the main details of it. I just know that like when I read the article, he seemed like he was really. It wasn't, he acted in high school.
Right.
He started acting in high school, acted a little bit in college, and of course he was a lit major, so he was going for that, and found out he liked acting. Did it, on the side, but ended up being so good that they actually. Ended up making a career out of it. And I thought that was really cool. And he was very humble about it as well.
Humble.
humble. He's very humble about it. That's a city. Not too far from here, actually.
Wait, no, Houston's a city, isn't it?
Humble's like the outskirts of Houston.
Every morning,
But-
I have a slice
was
of
like,
humble
humble is-
pie with my cereal.
Humble is in Houston. It's
Oh
not.
man. But no, I respect James Franco.
Yeah, so Kevin Bacon. I want to see him in Birdemic 3, Birdpocalypse, the beginning of the end. Kevin Bacon.
Well,
I'm distant cousins. I'm distant cousins with Kevin Bacon and Brad Pitt.
That's cool.
just while we're on the topic of, since it is technically a movie, I mean, it's actually a full feature movie, Birdemic was fantastic. And by fantastic, I mean horrible.
That's not what he means. He means horribly amazing. It was the best movie I've ever seen. Birdemic, I recommend it to all audiences, all ages, although it's a little bit graphic.
Yeah.
Birdemic Shock and Terror.
Look it up on YouTube.
Or Netflix. It's on Netflix. James Wynn, I believe, was the producer, writer, and I think he even acted in it. He's a pro. Props to the man. I love the movie.
Enjoy the audio engineering. That's the best part.
Movies. Remakes. The new Spider-Man movie. I'm excited to see it because I'm not a big fan of Tobey Maguire in Spider-Man.
Wait, you haven't seen the new one?
I haven't seen the new one.
Oh, it's so good. It's so much better. I think that they portrayed the Spider-Man character better, like the stereotype, the archetype of the character better in the new one, which is, you can't really call it the new Spider-Man. I mean, it's the newest one, but it's
completely
the
different.
Amazing Spider-Man versus, Spider-Man.
Right, different continuities. I'd love for this continuity to meet the other continuity and punch him in the face. No animosity towards Tobey Maguire. I just don't like the way the character is portrayed.
Emo crybaby.
Because wasn't he supposed to be more sarcastic? Like in the comics, isn't he more sarcastic or something like that?
I think so.
He's like that friendly neighborhood guy, respectful. He's also really, really sarcastic. Like enemies, he's always making commentary. His fights are never quiet. He's talking the whole time. Did they capture that? Like that animated, I'm gonna talk even when I'm fighting you, kind of thing. Did they capture that?
Yeah, really. I mean, there was quite a few scenes where, whenever, he would taunt the guy beforehand, and then whenever they were actually fighting, he would actually be in the middle of, punching him or doing some, setting up some kind of like trap to get him with his webs, and he would just be taunting him still. Even like, he gets knocked down, he's taunting the whole time.
And I heard they also captured the smarter side of him as well, which they almost ignored that.
The nerd side. They got the nerd side really well. He's very, he's very socially awkward. Everybody knows him though, and they know like his condition, the way he's in. He's, a photographer. He takes a lot of pictures. And he does it with an older camera, which I thought was pretty interesting because I don't think it's not really set back very much, but he uses a camera with actual film, and I think that's actually, that really shows his love for the art.
It's kind of weird though because he is set in a time. I was told, I haven't done any research into it, but I was told his movie is supposed to be ahead continuity wise of the Avengers, which is modern day. So I mean, how far ahead is he and still using a camera like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've never even, well, when I was a kid, but not in my, teenage life have I ever seen a camera even like that. Which, I mean, they're great cameras, and if you really love taking pictures and recreating certain atmospheres, actual film cameras, not the disposable kind, but actual film cameras that are older are actually better to use at times. Because they really do get an older look and a more classic style to it.